talk more about this on the broadcast, I'm joined by Qamar Agha. He's a foreign affairs expert. I'm also joined by Burzine Waghmar, Center for Iranian Studies from London. In fact, currently he's in Mumbai. He's joining us from there. Good evening. Namaskar to both of you. Welcome to Mirror Now. Burzine, I'd like to start with you. What do you make of these comments by Iran's supreme leader at a time when Iran's own minority records have been condemned by world bodies and countries across the world?
And a record which is abysmal since the inception of the Islamic Republic following the 1979 revolution. So Khamenei cannot afford to talk about anything. You mentioned about Sunni minorities. Tehran is the capital of a self-styled Islamic Republic which lacks a Sunni mosque since 1979, 45 years on since the Islamic Revolution as such. I repeat, there is no mosque in Tehran for Sunnis to perform their 5 diurnal prayers. They must perforce visit a Shia mosque. And there are subtle differences in Sunnis and Shias offering prayers. And one would ask, why does an Iranian Sunni minority not feel entitled to have their own mosque? I have not even to begin to talk about how Baha'is are treated in Iran. They are beyond the pale and their life, security and property is at forfeiture anytime because they are treated as Ahmadis are treated in Pakistan as heretics. Then there's the question of Iranian Jewry who barely survives. To take a recent example, let me tell you, when President Pezeshkian was elected, the recent national elections in Iran, Jews were forced across the country, including Tehran, through instructions from the chief rabbi that they must turn out to vote. And why is that so? Well, to show the world that minorities so-called flourish in Iran, which is arrant nonsense. And Ayatollah Khamenei will do well to realize certain factors, which I must point out as an ironist. The fact that President Rafsanjani, on his April 95 state visit to India, said that India is a model of secularism. He has forgotten that. He doesn't realize that India is home to the oldest Iranian diaspora in the world, that of Zoroastrians, who are the Parsis of the subcontinent. And India is also home to the largest 12 Shia Ithna Ashari community, of which Iran professes as a state religion. And might I also point out on the question of Kashmir, because Khamenei feels entitled to make these imprudent remarks on Kashmir. How is it that since the insurgency commenced in 1988, to date, it is only Kashmiri Sunnis from the valley who head off to Pakistan for militancy training and return to India for acts of sabotage. Not a single Kashmiri Shia, statistically speaking to date, in the last 3 decades on, has ever undergone such training. So Khamenei would do well to realize as to what is it about Kashmiri Shia who do not share his views on Article 370, on the Union Territory and other aspects as such.
Mr. Qamar Agha, we heard Burzine list out the kind of situation that is there in Iran, and therefore that brings me to the question as to what gives Iran's supreme leader that entitlement, that liberty to make repetitive statements on India's minorities and India's internal matters.
Iran is behaving like as if, they are the leader of the Islamic Ummah, Islamic Muslim all over the world, And our goal is to emerge as a major leader because since there is nobody at the moment. Secondly, he is using this as a card also, as a bargaining chip, rather with India or with other countries also at times, And Muslims in India, they don't like such statements. Because a number of times, because we are much happy here, we don't have much problems in this country. Whenever the problem comes, we have courts, we have a secular democratic character of this country. We have diversity in this country, and we have been living here Muslims have been living here for almost 1,000 years. It is a blatant interference in the internal affair of the country, I believe, And I'm surprised to see this statement coming at a time when Iran is facing serious problem with Israel. War is there is a possibility of
Yes.
escalation of the war coming up to Iran, and at that time he's making such a statement. India is one country which has been supporting Palestinian cause since since 19
We were one of the
1919
first
or
countries to actually
1917
recognize the state of Palestine.
Palestine era we have recognized since the time of Gandhi, Nehru, Indira, Rajiv,
Yes.
you name anybody, including Prime Minister Modi. Modi himself has visited Palestinian office in
Yes.
Ramallah. So we have been consistent. Not only that, large number of Palestinian students are studying in India. Then we have number of other programs. With Government of India's funding in occupied territories. The humanitarian assistance extended to the Palestinian Authority by India, and yet he's coming out with such a statement. I don't see any logic behind it. Why such a thing happened. Anyway,
Yeah.
this is not the first time. Earlier, once more, earlier he has talked about Kashmir. Then now this general Muslim community is
Yes.
talking about India is building also building a Chabahar port. The connectivity between Iran with
Yes.
Central Asia
Yes.
that would connect, and connect India or South Asia with through Chabahar port.